Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to hear 3 scary stories that happen to people. Make sure to stick till the end of the video to not miss the outcome. So let's start. I was 16 and me and my friends, I'll call Evan and Jake, wanted to rent a hotel for the night since it was spring break. We got to the hotel and checked in. It had a really funky smell, but we still stayed there. Once we got to our room, it was about 3:00 p.m., so we decided to go swimming. The pool was downstairs, departed from the hotel. Once we got to the entrance, there was a man at least 6'3" in all black, with a hood covering his face facing us. I panicked a little, but not out loud. We got into the pool and swam for a few hours until we saw that man again, all black, sitting on a chair by the pool. I cleared my throat. Can I help you, sir?" I asked. No response. I still ease a little paranoid. I put my face in the water, and at the bottom of the pool was another figure that was all black. I screamed like a little girl and ran for the door. I looked back and saw nothing, not the guy in the chair or the guy under the pool. My friends thought I was just seeing things, but I saw what I saw as clear as water. I didn't feel like swimming anymore, so I decided to get dinner at a nearby restaurant. I got a table for me and my friends to sit at, and there I saw once again the man all in black on the other side of the dining room and was staring at me. I have had enough. I went over there and I lost track of him, and he took off. After I decided this trip has gone too far and we should leave tomorrow morning, but my friends didn't like that idea. Once it was 10:30, I and my friends dozed off in the hotel room. I woke up to some noises. I saw a shadow of a figure at the end of my bed. I calmed myself down and told myself that it was my hat that I put there before I went to bed. I went to bed and got woken up again 30 minutes later to more noises. I was getting thirsty, so I reached under the bed and tried to grab my water bottle, but I grabbed something and I was totally shocked by what I grabbed. It was my hat. I was not ever more scared in my life. I couldn't help but to scream at the top of my lungs when I heard a voice next to my ear say, "You're a bitch." I jumped out of bed and realized it was 2 men in black right there. I tried to fight them, but it was no use once they grabbed me and dragged me out of that room. I tried to scream, but that guy was covering my mouth. I passed out and woken up in a stretcher. It turned out those guys knifed me while I passed out, and someone caught them. But the doctor said no one could catch the guys who got me. To this day, I always have a nightlight at night, so I'm not scared. This story is from a female. I was 13 when this happened. Sorry if there's some grammar mistakes in this. The winter 2018, me and my friend Jenny got really into skiing. There's a lot of snow because we live in Norway. Usually we went with her dad, but this time we didn't. Everything was great. We were laughing so hard I could barely breathe. But then when we were on the trail that takes us home. So here's something you have to know. The trail is kinda like a T, it's like a right line. So when we saw that man, he was coming towards us, but we went into that turn. It's kind of confusing. So my friend is a lot better at skiing than I am, so I was behind her. I looked back and saw that man, and keep in mind that we were 300 feet away from him. So we think that he ran towards us when took that turn, but then slowed down when we could see him. He kept on walking, and then I saw behind me again, and I saw he turned and began sprinting towards us. So I yelled at my friend, "He's coming." Then we began to run with our skis. But that didn't work, so I had to take of my skis, and finally I got them of. I was running so fast, but my skis kept falling because I was holding them in my hand, and at this point I felt blood in my mouth. I was tired, I just wanted to stop, but I couldn't. Finally we made it up a hill, and that's the path that gets us into the neighborhood. But then we kinda like stopped because we thought that he was gone. I looked in my friend's eyes and her pupils got so big. I instantly knew what it was. We ran into the neighborhood and I dropped my ski, but I didn't care. So here's where the miracle happened. Me and my friend are neighbors just on the opposite side, so her house is closed, so her house is mostly locked, But when we ran to the front door, it was unlocked. So we ran inside, and her mom said, "Are you guys ok?" And we told her everything. We started bailing. Her mom called my dad, and he went looking for my ski. And the man, he wasn't skiing, he had on black clothing. And by the way, he found my ski. But I'm never going skiing alone again. Never think things like this can't happen to you. It can. I should mention that I previously lived in a tiny town, but went to high school in a considerably larger city. I never had a reason or the nerve to go out in the city on my own. So when my two friends wanted to hang around town, I was nervous, to say the least. However, I thought, what the hell? I'll be with them. We had a blast for a couple of hours after school, with some small scary incidents along the way, including walking through a store full of expensive statues and gemstone with a massive backpack protruding from my back, and the original restaurant we wanted to go to was closed, forcing us to Subway. However, as it got dark, we all knew we had to go home, so we all enjoyed one last store and went on our separate way. I waited outside the store, alone, in the dark, not terribly afraid. Yet, I had told my mother where to find me, but she's hopeless with directions, so I had expected to be hanging around for a while. I noticed a news camera stationed outside the store, which made me feel even safer. But about 10 minutes into the wait, I was approached by two men. My memory is fuzzy, due to how freaked I was, but this is what I remember. "Hey, do you know where, name of a town that I can't remember, is?" I shook my head. I was already nervous because I'm a paranoid person on the best of days. And this was not turning out to be the best of days. "Aw, come on," one man coaxed. "Listen, we'll give you a bag of jewelry if you help us," the other man said. Now, I was genuinely freaking out. I glanced around and noticed the news camera and stepped a little closer to the line of sight of the lens. Listen," I stammered, trying really hard not to stammer or show how freaked I was. "I think it's that way. And I don't need anything," I said, pointing in random-ass direction. They glanced in the direction of my finger. They glanced back. "Can you show us?" Again, "We have a bag of jewelry." It felt as if my heart leaped into my throat. "No, thank you. And my mom is coming to get me." I declined as calmly as I could. They stared at me for a few seconds, then nodded, thanking me and heading off in the direction I pointed at. I kept well in the line of sight of the news camera until my mother picked me up. I didn't fully relax for a full week. I have absolutely no idea why they were so eager to give me that bag of jewelry. My first thought was that they stole it and wanted to throw the police off their trail by handing some of it off to me. The second was that they were trying to lure me away with the jewelry. Either way, it wouldn't have ended well for me if that was their goal. No one believed me, but I didn't expect them to. Really, I have never felt comfortable in the city, alone, in the dark, ever since, even though it's been 2 years, and I now live in a decently sized city for college.